Hello everybody, it's the 26th of January today, and well, I've just gone indoors to transfer all the video that I'd taken earlier onto the computer to edit it together, and found that somehow I'd completely missed this introduction and pruning and tidying up of this particular hibiscus. Fortunately, I've got a bit of footage from back in August, which will give you at least a rough idea of its size and dimensions from back then, and I'll insert that into the video here. You might also have seen I put out a short back in this, well, I think it was spring of this year, although times blur and jumble in my mind sometimes, whereby I bought some hibiscus from a garden centre at hugely reduced prices, proper bargains, and this one I actually got for nothing because the label was lost and they didn't know what variety it was or what colour or anything it was, so free tree if I wanted it. Little goat willow seeded itself in here, but basically, yeah, this one I've just put in a pot in this large, oversized seed tray. The other two that did have labels, I put one in the garden, in the ground, and one in a pot in the front garden. Neither of them have grown anywhere near as much as this one in the pot, and this one actually has flower buds as well. So I shall be finding out what I've got sooner rather than later. And again, I'm trying to build a trunk, so let's pop in the canvas scale. We've got an interesting bit of movement. Some might say a strange kink, but I'm going to call it an interesting piece of movement. Yeah, so you can see it had grown quite large. Contrary to what I think I said at the in other parts of this video, I'm fairly certain now this was the red flowered hibiscus. It had no label, so I got it for free, as I said, which was rather nice. So basically I've chopped it down and I've chopped off a couple of excess branches from the base, so that I'm kind of building this strange kinky trunk, trying to get some taper and movement into it, and I'll just pop the drinks can in as normal for scale so that you can see. It's going to be fairly chunky, I hope, but it needs to be because of the size of the blooms, and I think it's worthwhile making it into a big tree so that you can see those blooms from a distance. So yeah, all in all, this is one part of a long playlist, so it'll come to fruition in the future, I hope. Right there, Cooper D, you behaving? Not knocking any more pots off? Oh, should look away and pretend you didn't do that if I were you. Okay, so here is the second one, and I know one of these has a sort of purpley flowers and one has the red flowers, and as I'm stood here making this video, do you think for the life of me I can remember which one is which? No, is the answer to that. I can't. So this one at the moment has taken on more of a form of a shrub and is in a smaller pot. I'm in two minds as to whether I pot it up into something larger or whether I leave it in this year, but I think I will leave it in this year. Alright, Cooper D, smell something, can you? I don't know. Could be anything. And realistically, again, I'm trying to build a trunk, and I'm in two minds with this one, whether I leave it in this sort of shrubby form as a kind of clump, or whether I removed this section and have a single trunk, but I have one with a single trunk, so I always like to ring the changes a little bit. So actually I'm going to leave this one as a kind of clump multi-style. I'm going to get rid of that piece that's going right back into the centre, snore that back a little further. That's better. I'm just nipping it back to outward facing buds. I'm wondering, I might actually just pop these into the ground as hardwood cuttings and just see if they will do anything. They got two chances, essentially. They will or they won't. But yeah, so that's it. It's just a very simple video setting these up for spring. I apologise it's not very long or very interesting, but it's well, in terms of the playlist, it's a step along the way. So if you take the time to watch the playlist from beginning to end, hopefully that will make it a little bit more interesting. But hey ho, that's entirely up to you. Yeah, I put all those pieces into this fairly deep pot, just as hardwood cuttings, just as they are. They have two choices. They can root or rot, and at the end of the day, well, it's cost me 2 minutes of my time, a little bit of my bonsai mix, which is what I'm using as a rooting medium, and an old pot that I had kicking around. So as an experiment, let's see what happens. Can in for scale and give you a quick 360. Now that I've cut it back, I'm much happier. Yeah, I actually think I want to remove this piece, but other than that, I actually like the kind of triple trunk clump look, and as I say, as the other one has a single trunk, I think it's quite nice to have two different looking trees of the same species. Otherwise everything tends to look kind of cookie cuttery, and who wants that? Not me. That's all for this one. It will soon be repotting time, and watch out for more repotting videos to come, quite a few I hope. But in the meantime, do all the usual YouTube things, the liking, the subscribing, the commenting below, but most of all, stay safe everybody.